Have you ever wondered how it would be to travel medieval Europe with Charlemagne? Let's embark on an extraordinary journey through time to discover the life and legacy of one of history's most influential figures. Meet Charlemagne, the king of the Franks and Lombards, and the emperor of the Romans. Born into a divided Europe, he rose to power with a vision of unity and a determination that left an indelible mark on the continent. Charlemagne's journey was not just about territorial conquests, but also about cultural and religious integration, turning him into a beacon of enlightenment in the so-called Dark Ages. His reign began a new chapter in European history, laying the groundwork for what later became known as the Carolingian Renaissance. As we explore the landscapes and historical sites associated with this legendary emperor, we will delve into the heart of medieval Europe and the profound influence Charlemagne had in shaping it. So, buckle up as we traverse the paths of medieval Europe with this legendary emperor. Our journey begins in Aachen, the birthplace of Charlemagne. Nestled in the heart of Europe, Aachen was more than just the birthplace of our legendary emperor. It was the epicenter of his power, the capital of his empire, and the hub of his cultural revolution. Charlemagne's influence still permeates the city, from the grandeur of the Aachen Cathedral, where he was crowned and later buried, to the Palatine Chapel, a testament to his love for architecture and the arts. But Aachen was not just a city of grand buildings and royal courts, it was a vibrant tapestry of cultures, where Latin, Germanic, and other European influences melded together under Charlemagne's rule. Here, scholars from across the continent gathered, laying the groundwork for what would become the Carolingian Renaissance. From this humble beginning, Charlemagne embarked on a journey that would forever change the face of Europe. Next, we arrive in Lombardy, a region fraught with tension and conflict. This was a land that held immense strategic importance in the late 8th century, a prize that Charlemagne, the king of the Franks, had his sights on. The Lombards, a Germanic people who had ruled over this region of northern Italy, were about to face an adversary like none they had ever encountered before. Charlemagne's conquest of Lombardy was not just a military campaign, it was a chess game, a delicate dance of diplomacy, strategy, and brute strength. This was a time when alliances were as fluid as water, with loyalties shifting and changing like the wind. Charlemagne, however, was a master at this game. He knew that to conquer Lombardy, he needed more than just a strong army. He needed the support of the local populace and the blessing of the Pope. So how did Charlemagne achieve this remarkable feat? With a blend of cunning, charisma, and sheer military prowess, he managed to win over the Lombards not by force alone but by promising them protection and prosperity under his rule. He also secured the alliance of Pope Adrian I, who saw in Charlemagne a powerful ally against the Lombards who had been encroaching on papal territories. The conquest of Lombardy was a turning point in Charlemagne's reign. It cemented his status as a formidable military leader, a shrewd diplomat, and a visionary ruler. It also added a vast and prosperous region to his burgeoning empire, providing him with resources, manpower, and a strategic foothold in Italy. Lombardy became a vital part of Charlemagne's realm, a jewel in the crown of the Carolingian Empire. But more than that, the conquest of Lombardy was a testament to Charlemagne's vision and ambition. He saw a fragmented Europe, torn apart by wars and petty rivalries, and he dreamed of a united, peaceful continent under his rule. This dream, as audacious as it was, became the driving force behind his relentless campaigns, his tireless efforts to expand and consolidate his empire. With Lombardy under his control, Charlemagne was well on his way to establishing a vast and powerful empire. This was but one chapter in the remarkable saga of Charlemagne's journey through medieval Europe, a journey that would forever change the face of the continent. Our journey takes us next to Rome, the heart of the Christian world. The year is 780, and Charlemagne, the king of the Franks and Lombards, finds himself in Rome at the behest of Pope Leo III. The Pope, who had been facing accusations and threats to his papacy, sought the protection of Charlemagne, a powerful and influential figure in his own right. But neither of them could have foreseen the series of events that were about to unfold. On Christmas Day of the same year, during the Mass at the Basilica of St. Peter, Pope Leo III placed a crown on Charlemagne's head, proclaiming him Emperor of the Romans. The coronation came as a surprise to Charlemagne, yet it was a moment that would forever alter the course of history. This coronation was not merely an act of gratitude or a symbolic gesture, it held a profound significance that resonated far beyond the marble walls of the basilica. It marked the revival of the Western Roman Empire and signaled a shift in the political landscape of medieval Europe. The crowning of Charlemagne bridged the gap between the church and the state, intertwining them in a manner that would dictate the nature of European politics for centuries to come. Charlemagne's empire, now with the divine sanction of the Pope, expanded its reach, encompassing modern-day France, Germany, and parts of Italy. His rule brought about a period of relative peace, prosperity, and cultural growth, which laid the groundwork for the future of Western Europe. But more than just a ruler, Charlemagne was a driving force behind a cultural and intellectual revival. He encouraged learning, championed the preservation of classical texts, and fostered innovations in art, architecture, and education. His reign set the stage for what would later be known as the Carolingian Renaissance. Crowned by the Pope himself, Charlemagne's influence was now undeniable and far-reaching. Through his coronation, Charlemagne not only solidified his power, but also set in motion a series of events that would forever shape the face of medieval Europe. It was a moment in time that echoed through the ages, a testament to the enduring legacy of Charlemagne, the first emperor of the Romans. We now move to the latter part of Charlemagne's rule, marked by a period of cultural and intellectual revival. In the twilight of the 8th century, a significant shift occurred within the realms of Charlemagne. This time the battlefield was not geographical, but intellectual, marking the onset of the Carolingian Renaissance. This period was characterized by a revival of learning and culture, a flame that Charlemagne himself stoked. Charlemagne, the king and emperor, became Charlemagne, the patron of learning. He brought in the brightest minds from all corners of his empire and beyond. Men like Alcuin of York, Paul the Deacon, and Peter of Pisa were invited to his court, transforming it into a vibrant intellectual hub. Their mission was clear: to ignite a cultural revolution that would dispel the darkness of ignorance. Charlemagne's vision extended beyond his court. He sought to bring learning to the masses, understanding that a knowledgeable society was a prosperous one. He established schools throughout his empire, where children could learn to read and write. Latin, the language of the church and scholarship, was standardized, fostering clearer communication and promoting intellectual pursuits. This period gave birth to a distinctive style of art and architecture known as Carolingian art. The grandeur and sophistication of these works reflected the might and wisdom of Charlemagne's rule. But the Carolingian Renaissance was not just about the arts and education. It was a period of legal reforms and codification. The Capitularies, a series of legislative measures, were introduced, providing a more structured and fair approach to governance. It's easy to see how this period shaped the intellectual landscape of medieval Europe. It laid the groundwork for the later periods of cultural and intellectual renaissance. This was a time when the seeds of enlightenment were sown, seeds that would eventually bloom into the rich tapestry of European intellectual tradition. Charlemagne's rule was not just about conquests and power, but also about enlightenment and progress. The Carolingian Renaissance, a beacon of light in an age often characterized by darkness, is a testament to this lesser-known facet of Charlemagne's legacy. As our journey with Charlemagne comes to an end, we reflect on his lasting impact on medieval Europe. Charlemagne, the iconic emperor, left an indelible mark on the continent that transcends the boundaries of time and space. His journey was not merely a series of conquests, but a voyage of cultural and intellectual revolution that shaped the fabric of medieval Europe. From Aachen, the heart of his empire, to the grandeur of Rome where he was crowned, Charlemagne's path was one of power and enlightenment. His conquest of Lombardy unified disparate lands under one rule, setting the foundation for the concept of a unified Europe. This was a political masterstroke that resonates in the corridors of power to this day. But Charlemagne's influence was not confined to the political sphere. He was a catalyst for the Carolingian Renaissance, a period of unprecedented intellectual and cultural revival. He championed the cause of education, inviting scholars from across Europe to his court in Aachen. This was an age when knowledge was power, and Charlemagne knew it. He harnessed this power to shape an empire that thrived on the principles of learning and discovery. Charlemagne's journey was a testament to his vision of a unified, educated Europe. His legacy is etched in the magnificent cathedrals, the ancient manuscripts, and the rich tapestry of culture that characterizes medieval Europe. But perhaps his greatest legacy is the idea of Europe itself, a diverse yet unified entity with a shared heritage and a common destiny. As we conclude our voyage with Charlemagne, we realize that his journey was so much more than the chronicles of a king. It was a journey that shaped the destiny of a continent, a journey that laid the groundwork for the Europe we know today. Charlemagne's journey through medieval Europe was not just a journey of a king but a journey that shaped the destiny of a continent.